Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube video lectures. So today I am giving a demonstration on 8051 programming using Keil software. So here I am using Keil software, tools by R version 5. You can use any version 4, version 5, it's left to you. Okay. So I am using version 5 to give the demonstration of 8051 programming. So now, this Keil software is a development tools for embedded microcontroller applications. Okay. Then, like all software based on Keil Microvision IDE, that is integrated development environment, the tool sets provide a powerful, easy to use and easy to learn environment for developing embedded applications, and they also include the components you need to create, debug and assemble your C or C++ source file and incorporate simulation for microcontrollers and related peripherals. Okay. So before going the demonstration of 8051 programming in Keil software, so now I will discuss some few simple examples of 8051, then same example I will execute in Keil software and show you. Okay. So first example I took here is adding two 8-bit numbers. Okay, this is simple. So adding two 8-bit numbers in 8051. So here there are many ways to do addition in 8051. So I will discuss these two ways. That is, first one is declaring data values using instruction, and one more is declaring data values using memory locations. So first one, declaring data values using instruction, means in instruction itself you can declare the value. The value 2 8-bit values, that values you can declare in the instruction itself. One more is you want to fetch the data from some memory location, so that is also possible to write the program. So now we'll see the programs. So for first one, declaring data values using instruction, this is a program which is 3 lines instructions. So first instruction is move a comma #02. So here I used immediate addressing mode because you can see here hash in front of value. So it is a pound sign. So this entire instruction is a immediate addressing mode. So what happens when I execute first instruction, that is move a comma #02. So now I took one set of 8-bit data as a 02. I am moving it to accumulator, that is A. So when I execute this instruction, whatever the value of A before execution, so once you execute that instruction, A becomes 02. Okay. So next step is add a comma #04. So now you are adding a content of accumulator with the immediate data. Okay. So now one more 8-bit data I took here is 04. This 04 is going to be added with the data which is present in accumulator. So what is the data which is present in accumulator? That is 02. Okay. In first instruction you moved some data in accumulator. That data is going to be added with the again one more immediate 8-bit data. So after adding 4 plus 2, the value is 6. So that value is going to be stored in accumulator. The result you are going to see in accumulator. Okay. This is a simple 2 instruction where you can do adding two 8-bit numbers using immediate addressing mode. Same thing you can write adding two 8-bit numbers using various addressing mode. You can use direct addressing mode, indirect addressing mode, okay, any addressing mode, register addressing mode, any addressing mode you can make use of it. So simple is immediate addressing mode because you can move the immediate data direct to the registers. Okay. So same thing when it comes to declaring data values using memory locations. So here I am fetching the data which is present in memory location, where in this example the already data I declared in instruction itself. You are seeing the data, but here you are not seeing the one data, only one data you are seeing, but one more data you are not seeing. So that data is present in memory location. From that memory location you are going to fetch that data, then you have to go for addition. So when you go for fetching the data from memory location, of course the instruction will increase. Okay. So if you compare these two programs, here it is only 2 instruction set. So here it is 3. Okay. Of course when you are fetching the data from any location, the instruction sets will increase. Okay. So in this first instruction is move R0 comma #30. So here I am initializing the pointers. Okay, whenever you want to fetch the data from memory locations, so if you use a direct addressing mode, no need of pointer, directly you can take the data from that address. Suppose you are going for indirect addressing mode. Here I used indirect addressing mode, that's why I wrote at here. Okay, so whenever you are using direct addressing mode, no need to use pointers. So suppose when you are using a indirect addressing mode, you have to use pointers. Okay, so which all register acts as a pointers in 8051. So totally there are so many register. In that register R0 to R7, those register is also 8-bit register, acts as a temporary register, and in that 2 acts as a pointers also. So which are those 2 register? That is R0 and R1. So whenever you are going to write the program in indirect addressing mode, you have to use a pointers called R0 and R1. They are also a simple register but also acts as a pointers. You can't use R2 as a pointer, you can't use R7 as a pointer. Okay, so now whenever I am fetching the data using indirect addressing mode, I have to initialize the pointer first. Okay, so first instruction is move R0 comma hash 30. So here when you see the first instruction, the immediate data 30 is going to move in R0. Okay, so when you see the second instruction, that is move a comma hash 02. Okay, when you see the second instruction, so when you see the second instruction, that is move a comma hash 02. So again immediate data, which is of 8-bit, I am moving in accumulator. Okay, so before execution R0 may be any value, before execution accumulator may be any value, don't care about it. So once you execute your instruction, the 30 has to move to R0. So you have to see whether 30 is present in R0 or not. So when you see this instruction, it looks like a normal instruction, means you are moving immediate data to R0. This acts as a normal register. So when you write at here, means it acts as a pointer. So when you see the first instruction move R0 comma hash 30 is just a normal register where it is having the data 30. So when you write at in front of that register, means this is not a normal register, it acts as a pointer. Okay, so here in R0 I moved the data 30 and in accumulator the value is 2. So now when I write add, don't think that the 30 is added to 2. No, it's wrong. So whatever the content which is present in 30, that data is going to be added with accumulator data. Okay, so in accumulator that is 2, and add a comma at R0 means now R0 is acting as a pointer. So here at means R0 is acting as a pointer where it is pointing to 30th address. So now 30 becomes address. Inside that whatever the content will be there, that content is going to be added with accumulator and the final result will be stored in accumulator. Okay, so this is a writing program in indirect addressing mode. Okay, so I took move R0 comma hash 30h. So 30 is moved to R0, then 02 is moved to A, then add a comma at R0 means R0 acts as a pointer which is pointing to 30th address. Inside that whatever the data is there, that data is going to be added with accumulator data. Okay, suppose 4 is there in 30, 4 is added with 2 and it becomes C, the final 6, then the final result will be stored in accumulator. Okay, so this is how you can write the adding two 8-bit numbers in indirect addressing mode. Same thing you can write for direct, register, so on. Okay, so next we'll see the subtraction part. So same thing, only the mnemonic will change. Same, move a comma, first you have to move the data in accumulator, then you have to go for subtraction. So where in addition there are two types of addition, ADD and ADDC. So you can add with carry and without carry also, but when it is a subtraction there is only one instruction, that is SUBB, subtraction, and this B stands for borrow. SUBB stands for subtraction and this B stands for borrow. So there is no separate instructions for SUB and SUBB, with carry, without carry, no. In subtraction there is only one instruction, that is SUBB. You have to add, you have to subtract with borrow always. Okay, so now Again, this is declaring the data in instruction itself, and this is fetching the data from memory location. So now 6 is moved to accumulator, and that 6 is subtracted with A, always A minus data, not data minus A. Even in addition also it is A minus or A plus data. So and the result will be stored in accumulator only. Okay. So now the data in accumulator is 6, so 6 minus 3, so carry is considered as 0. So after subtraction, whatever the result you are going to get, that result is going to be stored in accumulator. Then indirect, so again I am declaring the pointer by using instruction called move r0 comma hash 30. Then I am moving one more data in accumulator, move a comma hash 0h. Then I am going to subtract these two values with borrow. Okay, so a is subtracted with the content of r0, then with borrow, and whatever the result is there, that is going to be stored in accumulator. Okay. So this is for subtraction. Then next we go for division. So for division, again I wrote two instruction programs for declaring values in instruction itself and fetching the data from the memory locations. So for division, there is a inbuilt instruction called div AB. You can't change it. Okay. So even for multiplication, there is a inbuilt instruction called mul AB. Okay. So now we see division. So to do division, you have to mention the values in A register and B register. So both are 8-bit register. So 8-bit register value you have to mention in A and even in B. Okay. So now 4 is moved to accumulator, then 2 is moved to B register. So now when you execute div AB, the A value will be divided by B value, not B by A. It is A by B. Okay. So now A value is 4 divided by 2 means 2, and the result. So how the result will be stored here? So whenever you do division, it is in terms of remainder and quotient. So quotient value will be stored in accumulator, remainder value will be stored in B register. Okay. Quotient value, when you do division, the result will be in terms of quotient and remainder. Remainder value will be stored in B register, quotient value will be stored in accumulator. Okay. Then this is again using indirect addressing mode. Move r0 comma hash, so I am initializing the pointer. Then I am taking a data which is present in 30th location to accumulator. Okay. Then I will increment that r0. So when I increment the r0, now r0 is pointing to 31st location, because initially r0 is pointing to 30th address. So inside that data I took in accumulator. Then after executing increment r0, now r0 is incremented by 1, means 30 is added with 1, means now it is 31. So now r0 is pointing to 31th address. So inside that data is moved to B register. So now A also having value, B also having value. Then I go for division. So now A divided B happens, then quotient value will be stored in accumulator, remainder value will be stored in B register. Okay. So same thing for multiplication, same instructions, only the instruction set is different. So here it is mul AB. Again the values must be present in A and B. Okay. So first I will store 4 in A, then 2 in B, then I go for multiplication. So again when you do multiplication, so you may get values in terms of 16-bit. So how it will be stored? So lower byte will be stored in accumulator and the higher byte of the result will be stored in B register. Where in division, quotient will be stored in accumulator, remainder will be stored in B register. Where in multiplication, the lower byte of the result will be stored in A register, higher byte of the result will be stored in B register. Okay. So same thing for fetching the data. So I initialize the pointer, I took whatever the data which is present in 30 to accumulator, then I incremented because I stored two values in 30 and 31. So that's my program is like this. You can store in any location. Okay. So in 31 I store one more data, so that I will increment R0. So 30 is added with 1, so it becomes 31. Now R0 is pointing to that 31. Inside that data is moved to B register. Then I go for multiplication mul AB. So after multiplication, the lower byte will be stored in A and higher byte of the result will be stored in B. Okay. So now this is a simple examples: addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. So now I will execute these programs in Keil software. Okay. So once Keil software, when you press on Keil software, so this is a window appears. So in this first step you have to follow is, first step is to create the project, creation of project. Okay. So project is nothing but folder. As usual, we say folder where so many number of files are going to be saved. Same thing here, folder is nothing but project. In that project you are going to save so many files like addition, separate file, subtraction, separate file, or division, multiplication, so on. These all come under files. Those files you are going to store in folder that is called project. So before creating the file, you have to create a project. So how to create a project? So there is a icon called project. After view, file, edit view, there is a project. So press that one and select first option, that is new microvision project. Select that. So once you select, it will ask to create a new project. Okay. So wherever you want to create a project, it's left to you whether you want to create in C drive or D drive, so on. So now I will show, I will store the project in D drive and give any file name, it's left to you. So I will give micro 1. Okay. So inside this micro 1, I go on saving all the files. It may be anything, ascending, descending order, any related to 8051 or anything. Okay. So now I will press on save. So now it is saved. So before saving, it will ask the select device for target. Okay. So why this is important means, so you are using some set of instruction means you are using set of instruction from some vendors, right? So in 8051, whatever the instructions you studied, those instructions are from Intel company, that is a vendor, manufacturer. So you have to write those instructions, means for that you have to select which vendor you are going to use. So that is called select a device for target. So now, so here you can see only R. So but the 8051 instruction, whatever you studied, that is from Intel company, Intel vendor. So to get that Intel vendor, so press this arrow mark. So first you have to select the device. So here you can see downward arrow marks, click on that, then select second one, legacy device database. So once you press, you can see so many vendors are available here. Okay. So whichever you want you can write, but here in 8051 you are using the instructions from Intel company, right? It's an Intel vendor. So here you go on pressing this downwards arrow mark, you can see so many vendors. In that you have to select Intel. Okay. So here Intel, so press this plus mark. So inside the Intel there are so many controllers, IC numbers will be there. So which controller you are using? You are using 8051. So again you have to select 8051 AH. Okay. So once you press on that device or a name, so you can see the description at the right hand side. So here when I press 8051, it shows the description of that 8051. So it is a microcontroller 51, NMOS technology it is using, that is NMOS single chip, and 8-bit microcontroller with 32 IO lines, 2 timers per counters, 5 interrupts bar 2 priority labels, 4 KB ROM, 128 bytes on chip RAM. Okay. So it is going to meet what you studied in 8051. So once you select, press OK. Then copy startup.a51 to project folder and add file to project. S. You have to click S. Okay. So actually I already exist, so I'll say no. So now once you start with the Keil software, it will not show that second window because already I executed, so it's showing overwrite. So once you click OK on startup, so this is a window which is going to appear. Now folder means the project is created now. So now you have to create a file. So how to create a file? Go to file, new. Go to file, new. So now this is a file window where you are going to write the programs. Okay. So let us take a simple addition program, adding 2 8-bit numbers. So already I discussed how to write without declaring in instruction, with declaring in instruction. So let us take first one, move. You can write in capital or small letter. Okay. Move A comma, So let us write in capital, move a comma hash 0 4 h. So why I write h means I am declaring this value is a hex value. Okay, then so first instruction is you are moving a immediate data 04 in accumulator. Then I go for addition, add ADD without carry, add a comma hash 0 to h. Again 02 is a hex value and that value is added with accumulator value. So after addition 4 plus 2 the result is 6 and this 6 is going to be stored in accumulator. So in skill software, to terminate the program, that is end instruction. So you have to use end instruction to terminate the program. So when you go for executing the programs using kits, so that time you have to use lcall 003 when you use different assemblers. Okay. So here when you are using Keil software, to terminate you have to use end. So now my program is over. Then I will go for saving that program. So here you can see save option. So click on that. So next, after clicking the save option, you have to see to that whether it is in same folder, whichever folder you have created, that is project. Okay. So I created a project called micro1. Okay. So here micro1 is present. So now here you have to give the file name. So I am going to execute the addition. So that's why I will give add 1. So don't give add instruction names only, give a different. So I will give add 1 dot s. You can give dot s or you can give dot asm, any file. Okay. So s must be small letter. So once I save it as add 1 dot s, now you can see the color is changed. You have to get like this. If the color is not changed after saving, then somewhere went wrong. Okay. See to that when you save the program using .s or .asm, the color of the numbers must be different and the color of the register must be different and the color of the mnemonics must be different. Okay. So now whatever the save I did, it's a correct. So after save is over, now I will attach this file to source group. I will attach this file to source group. Then I will rebuild that program. So how to attach this file to source group? So here target 1 is there. So you have to click on that plus mark. Then click that source group 1. Right click. Okay. Right click. Add existing files to group source 1. Click on that plus mark of target 1, then select source group 1, right click, add existing files to group 1, click that. Then go on searching your file. So I saved it as a add 1. Okay. So here I saved that add 1 in .s. So here you can see files of type is .c. So change it to .s. Okay. So you can see all the files with the extension of .s. Okay. So here is my file, that is add1.s. Select this, then add, then close. So here you can see in source group. So there is a plus mark. Click here. So you can see here add1.s is added to source group. Okay. So next you have to rebuild this. So first option is translate. Click on this translate. You can see here in the console window, that is 0 error and 0 warning. Then after that you select this rebuild all. So again you can see 0 error and 0 warning. Okay. So now the program is correct. So now you have to execute that program. So for that you have to go to the option called debug. Go to debug, then select first one, start bar stop debug session. Okay. So when you select this start bar stop debug session, so even for starting that session you have to select it, even to stopping this session you have to select this. Okay. So then OK. So it is using a running with code size limit of 2K. OK. So now you can see at the left hand side all the register from R0 to R7, A register, B register, stack pointers, DPTR, program counter, PSW, so on. In PSW you can see the each bit of PSW, carry, auxiliary, okay, overflow, parity, so on. Okay. Register banks, so on. Register select. Okay. So now there are two ways to execute. That is, you want to execute, you want to see the values of each instruction. So now you have to go for stepwise execution, or you don't want to execute, don't want to see the output of each instruction, you want to see the overall output of this program, then you can go for overall option. Okay. So now I will show both. So first I will show output of each instruction. So here go to debug. Okay. So there is a called step. So it is step and step over. Step means for each instruction output you can see. Step over means at the last what is the output of that program you can see. So now I press step over. So it's you can you can press F11 also, or you can see here there is an option called step 1. Okay. So now before I execute, you can see the accumulator value is 0 0. So why it is declared as 0x00? Because whatever the value you are going to move in accumulator or in any register, that value will be in terms of hex value. So you have to tell this value is hex value. That's why we write 0x00. Okay. Now I will press this. So now you can see it is executed first instruction. So before I executing step wise, so the A value is 0. Now I press on that step, then the A values becomes 4. That is output of first instruction. So now when I press the second instruction, what will be my output? It is not equal to 2. It is a addition of 2 plus 4, because I wrote add here, I didn't wrote move. So the content of A is 4 is added with the content of immediate value, that is 2, and the result will be stored in accumulator. You can see here the answer is 6. Okay. This is a step by step, you can see the output. Suppose you want to do see the output at the last stage, so that also you can do. So now I want to stop this. Again I will go for stop debug session. Okay. Then again I will save, rebuild. Again you want to execute the same program, you have to stop the debug session, then save, rebuild all, then start the debug session. Okay. Then any changes you want to make you can do. Okay. Now I don't want to make changes, I want to show you how you can execute step over. So there is an option called step over. So here before that you can see accumulator is 0. Once I press this, you can see the accumulator value is 4, then accumulator value is 6. So again for step over it is showing 4 and 6. So there is an option, one more option called run. So I will stop this, save this one, rebuild all, then start the session. Okay. So here you can see accumulator value is 0. Then go to debug, then run. So when you click run, it will show the last result of your program. Okay. Step and step over are same here. So when you press run, it will show the last result of this program. Okay. This is simple addition program. Again you want to alter some value. Here only you can't alter. You have to stop this session. Then you have to alter the value. Then you have to start the session. Then you have to go for step or step over or run. Okay. So now I will stop this session. Then I will show how to write the program using memory locations. So whatever I discussed in this PPT, okay, same program I am going to execute now. So I am going to save the same program. Okay. So now move A, move R0, 4, So first instruction is move R0 comma hash 30 H. Second instruction is move A comma hash 02. Then next instruction is move A comma at R0. Move A comma at R0. Last instruction to terminate the program, that is end. Okay. So this is also adding two 8-bit numbers using memory locations. Okay. So now I will write the program, then I go for saving the program. So here in same add1.s I saved that program. Suppose you want a different file name to save that program, again you have to close this and then you have to open, the new file, then you have to write the program, then you go for saving. Okay. So for demo purpose I am go on saving in same file name. Okay. So now, I wrote a new program where this is also adding two 8-bit numbers using memory locations. So when I save this program, then I go for rebuild all. So I am getting a 0 error, 0 warning. Then I will start the debug session. Okay. So here you can see R0 register. R0 register is also having 0. Then A register is also having 0. Okay. But in program I wrote R0 is equal to 30, then A equal to 2, then adding the content of 30 to R0. So before executing this program, I have to store one value in 30th location. Okay. Then only it will add that content with accumulator. So how to store that 30 value in 30th location, I will show here. So here you can see the memory window. So here there is a memory window, you can see, just click here, memory window. So at the bottom you can see here memory window. Okay, this is memory 1. So here you have to write the address. So to which address you are going to write the value. So my address here is 30. Inside this 30 I am going to give one value. So that value is added with 2 and getting the result in accumulator. So here there are two types of declaring address. So you want the values in decimal or you want values in hex. Okay. So now usually we use declaring the address is D colon 0x30. Then I will press enter. Okay. So I will write declaring the address as D colon 0x30. If I press only D colon 30 means it will take it as a decimal and convert it to hex. But I want to tell that 30 is my hex value. So that's why in front of 30 you have to type 0x30. So for example, I will show here when I declare the address as 30, D colon 30. So you can see 1E. So 1E is a hex value of 30. So here the controller means this software will take this 30 as a decimal number, then it will convert it to hex, that is 1E. So it will ask to enter the value in 1E. But I want, this is also correct, but I want to declare this 30 as a hex. So there is an option. So I will use that option, that is D colon 0x30, then press enter, then you can see 30 only. Okay. So here it is address, this is the address for 30, this is 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. After 39 it's a hex value, so it is 3A, okay, not 40. 3A, 3B, 3C, 3D, so on it will continue. So here only one data I want to store in 30. So click here, double click, then store the value, say 04. Then press the second address. So now 04 is stored in 30. Okay. So after that I go for step or step over. So once I click the step, the 30 value must move to R0 register. So here you can see R0 is 0. Once I go for stepwise execution, so now I will press, so you can see R0 becomes 30. Means after execution of this instruction R0 is 30. Then I press second instruction. Now A value is 0. When it executes second instruction, you can see 02 in accumulator. So you can see 02 in accumulator. Then after adding, So content of R0 means content of R0 is 4. So this 4 is going to be added with the content of accumulator, and the result will be stored in accumulator. So you can see here it is 6. So content of R0 is what? 4. So 4 is added with accumulator, and the result is going to be stored in accumulator.